Hello everyone, welcome to Fridays on Objective 6. I am the host for today, Kellen. Let's have just to start off with a question. For Ashley's question, she wanted to know what character we wanted to be from a TV show or what pilot we would pitch if we didn't have that. Well, I would want to be Gabrielle from Xena, the Warrior Princess, because I love Gabrielle Xena hardcore, like, you know, Gabrielle / Xena, like they're my favorite, not really couple, but couple, kind of, you know, they're a good lesbian icon, and I'm kind of a lesbian. But yeah, so that's really the question for me. If I could pitch a TV show, I got nothing for that one. But yeah, I'd be Gabrielle. Or if I could make up a character to insert into a show, I would insert probably a character into Charmed, because Charmed is also one of my top favorite shows. Charmed is one of my favorite shows. I'd probably replace Billy from the final season with maybe a boy version, which is sort of myself, but in the Charmed world. That's probably about it. Let's see. This week for a topic, I wanted to talk about drugs and kind of just drugs in general. And it's not really an important discussion, just sort of my beliefs and beliefs of other people, and just, you know, just the general idea of drugs. So drugs, of course, useful when we're talking about things like, you know, Claritin, allergy medicine, or, you know, things to stop pain, morphine, you know, and horrible surgeries, or Zydrate, if you are a fan of Repo.
Zydrate? Zydrate comes in a little glass vial. A little glass vial.
Yeah. So anyway, wow, what was that? So drugs, right? Not on drugs. Okay, so when you break it down, most drugs fall into one of two categories. They can either be helpful, such as, of course, allergy medicine, like I mentioned, anesthetics, or even, you know, mental illness medication like Prozac, or anything to affect chemical depression, or even other mental illnesses. So of course, you know, it's a drug. It can be very helpful, but at the same time, drugs also fall into a harmful category. That's where you see people getting addicted to drugs, to the point where they're mentally or physically addicted to drugs, or the body actually goes through horrible symptoms without the drug or whatever it may be. Then there's also, you know, poisons, of course, things we use to either, you know, kill bugs, which could also, you know, end up killing us, or, you know, DEET, all these chemicals and drugs that, if unchecked, could really do a lot of harm to humans, ourselves, other people, Agent Orange. Now, I'm bringing all this up because I personally believe in complete and absolute personal freedom. I believe anybody should be free to do anything, really, within the limits of if it doesn't harm another person and they're okay with it if it does. That's pretty much what I believe. But along with that belief, I believe in complete and absolute personal responsibility, meaning that if you aren't aware of yourself, what you're doing to yourself or others, then you don't deserve the freedom you have necessarily, or that they should go hand in hand. Which of course lends itself to another belief I hold, which is that any government should have absolutely no say in what a person does to themselves, or especially in this case, what they take or what they drink or whatever drugs or whatever they do to their own body. It's a personal choice, it's their own personal responsibility. And now this, of course, should make sense if you really think about it. We have illegal drugs such as marijuana, for instance, or even illegal for people to drink alcohol under a certain age. And of course, people who are disallowed from using these drugs do them anyway. For instance, a person could get $20, with the right connections, get marijuana. It's not a big deal. Everybody knows that you can get drugs just like that. It's not a big deal. The same with alcohol. You can just get a friend to buy you alcohol, and your friend can drink it with you anyway. So wasting all this time and money on trying to sort of slap people on the wrist who are either using these drugs or using these drugs when they're not allowed to, is really, in my opinion, a waste of time and money on the government's part. If there were no legal restrictions on anything, or in this instance, I'll just say marijuana, anything, you know, THC, processed THC, not only would it allow the government a new market to tax, or even just new markets in general, it would reduce crime at an amazing rate. People get gunned down for marijuana nowadays, cocaine, all these drugs. People kill each other for drugs like this for absolutely no reason. And these,
Cheers, mate!
So, these drugs, right? Drugs are bad. Drugs are real bad. And really, I'm not just referencing the violence and crime in the U.S., Canada, Mexico, the more developed parts of the world. I'm speaking about the whole world, where For instance, South America, a lot of countries, marijuana is an opiate plants are grown, of course, for their drug use, for no other reason. And whole armies of whole countries and governments are toppled, people slaughtered in the streets just for these drugs. When it would be so simple just to remove bans on these drugs, and of course they wouldn't be a social commodity. It'd be like taking rubber from a rubber tree. No one dies for that. It's just a commodity people purchase in a free market. To have government involved in this way, I think, is incorrect. I believe in a lot of governmental powers and a lot of governmental protections for people, minorities and majorities, for everybody. But this is one instance where drugs should be for everyone, with the caveat that everybody should be taught absolute responsibility, know exactly what a drug is doing to you, what it would do to you, how it could hurt you, help you, harm you, might have fun. And yeah, that's about it. So that's this week. Thanks to my special guest star, whoever that might be. And I will be seeing y'all next Friday. Have a good one.